Am I the idiot for not wanting to kiss my pregnant mother-in-law's belly? So, this is going to sound very weird, but it is what it is. My husband Jason, male 24, was born to his mother Luna, female 42, when she was 18, almost 19, out of her first marriage. Now, Luna's from a rich Italian family out of Seattle where people sound like they're from Frasier, so even though that marriage collapsed after Jason's birth, they didn't really struggle in the conventional sense. But they're really, really close to each other. Like, he and she do Tom Brady kisses with each other, she does it with his sister too. We got married earlier in the year, but the entire time I've known Luna, it feels like she's been competing with me. Not in a way for her son's attention, I don't think, but as a friendly rival or whatever. I don't know how to put it since it doesn't seem malicious. But like, 2 years ago she saw me doing an ab workout and she joined in and kept doing it until she was not only better than me but had pretty good abs. That's to give you a glimpse as to our relationship. I got pregnant earlier this year, unintentional, but we decided to keep it. And I kid you not, 2 months later Luna was pregnant too. That felt really weird to me. Who wants their kid to be older than aunt, uncle? Real life isn't Modern Family. Almost like she wanted to be like sisters who get pregnant at the same time. I miscarried due to a real car crash we were in, and in his grief it's like Jason completely turned to Luna while I was in the hospital. When I got out, it was really, really weird. Like, after visiting his mom's house, he did the Tom Brady kiss with her and then kissed her belly because apparently it's what he did when he was 3 and she was pregnant with his sister. I was freaking out when she asked me to do it too, but I did it just to avoid causing a fight. Since then, I have left his mom's house early whenever we go, making up some excuse or another to avoid the belly kisses, but have had to do it like 3 more times. She's 6 months pregnant now, and yesterday, we visited her house. There she showed us pictures of when she was 7 pregnant with her daughter Rhiannon. 21 Fahrenheit. They were of her nude, tasteful but still, but some were of her and my toddler husband kissing her pregnant belly. She told us she wanted to do this again, same nude style, and my husband agreed. Apparently Rhiannon agreed to do it too. She wants me to do it too since I'll be the mom of her future grandbabies. I gave a non-committal answer, and when we got home, my husband argued with me on giving his mom false hope, telling me it was an idiot thing to just not say yes. I tried to point out to him just how awkward it is and how I don't feel comfortable, but he was having none of it. He hasn't stopped talking to me, but I know he's pissed that I don't want to kiss his mom's belly. But am I the idiot for how I went about the situation? Edit. Felt like I needed to add this before it came up in every other comment. Jason and I are in therapy regarding the fact that I almost died in the car crash. Our baby died, that my leg doesn't work anymore, and that he doesn't think he can move on. Belly kisses just didn't seem like a weighty enough issue given all else we talk about there. So for people who are going to recommend therapy, we already go, and I will be bringing this up there. Update. I brought the issue up in therapy. Thanks everyone for helping give me words to use and helping identify my own pain, and I think the therapist was shocked. I pointed out how it hurt me to have to kiss a pregnant belly. It only felt like Luna was having to compete with me. Jason seemed really regretful. He apologized. I know he was holding back tears and promised he'd make sure Luna never asked again. I then pointed out how odd the idea of taking tasteful nudes with his pregnant mom was. He got defensive, but at home he told me I was right and he'd only do the photos if she's clothed. Still weird, but progress. I also got him to agree that we wouldn't be having kids until we were 100% that Luna couldn't have kids anymore. Unfortunately, 2 days later, my leg's condition got fricked. Like, I woke up, tried to stand, and fell screaming and crying. I got hospitalized for 2 weeks. Then I got inpatient physical therapy for 3 weeks. And during this time, Jason regressed back to his mom. The photo shoot got taken and Luna texted me. She wasn't nude and there were no belly kisses, but it was sheer and uncomfortable, especially with my meds. Honestly, I started googling divorce stuff till a nurse put my phone away. After I went back home, and it just didn't feel right with Jason anymore. It was like Luna won and replaced me. I guess he realized it wasn't working and those photos were the last straw. So, after a week he asked for a chance but said if divorce was what I wanted, he'd go for it. I told him I did, cause he wasn't who I married anymore and I don't think he can go back. He just said okay and was kind of frozen as we started the process. But then I had a bad fall when I stupidly tried to go down the stairs alone. I hate my leg, and the way he took care of me was like he was himself again. I asked if he still wanted another chance and he said he did but didn't think he could do it here. He asked if I'd be willing to move somewhere far away from his family and leave them behind so we can focus on ourselves. And I said yes, cause I was planning on leaving as soon as we divorced. We're moving to Albuquerque cause his mom can't go there and I got a referral to a treatment facility that'll help. Honestly, these last few days before we leave for our new life has been just like my old life, except I have a 99% dead leg now, and it's been great having the man I love back. I don't know much about New Mexico, but I am excited. Edit. I sent in a request to post this 2 days ago. I only got to put it up now. We're in Albuquerque now and far away from his family. Not the idiot. That sounds like a seriously sick and twisted relationship between the mom and her son. There's some deep issues there that should be red flags for you. Expect jealousy and resentment, and run. Not the idiot. Wishing you the best of luck now that you've been able to physically get away from his family. I hope he continues to put your marriage first and can maintain the new boundaries. Watch out if she starts introducing medical issues to guilt him into coming back. It's a hard one to fight. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for not wanting a relationship with my stepmom and stepsister after my dad died? My parents got a divorce when I was 6 and I haven't seen my mom since because she was abusive. My dad remarried when I was 8. My stepmom wasn't abusive, but we never clicked. She tried to be my new mom right off the bat, and I found it weird, and she didn't like how I wasn't open to the idea right away. She also had a daughter who's 1 year younger than me. We didn't hit it off either. Don't get me wrong, she's a totally fine person, but as kids she was the typical brat, so I guess it made it hard for us to really bond as kids, I guess. Once I hit my teens I had a rough patch of being rebellious and overall not a good person. My dad gave me space like I needed, but my stepmom didn't see it that way, and we fought a lot because of it. My stepsister was alright during teen years. She got quieter and kept to herself, so we didn't really have any conflict. But me and my stepmom didn't hit it off, and once I turned 18 I moved out the first chance I got. I am now 24 and my dad sadly passed away with cancer, though I didn't get along with my stepmom. I never stopped loving my dad and we texted daily when I moved out. It was rough on me and I do appreciate my stepmom helping me with the funeral, but that was a couple months ago and I haven't really talked to her since. My stepsister has invited me over for Christmas, and honestly I don't know if I want to go. Not because I don't like them, but because it's the same house that we grew up in and it will remind me too much of my dad and I'm still grieving. I know my stepsister and stepmom are too, but frick it sucks cause IDK I just want to be left alone for some time to process cause it was only 3 months ago. Am I the idiot if I don't show up to Christmas Day at my stepmom's place? Update. I decided not to cut my stepfamily out of my life. My second question is if I was taught if I go or not, and people say it's up to me. So I went to my stepmom's place for Christmas. This was my first time with my stepmom and stepsister without my dad. It was super hard cause I sat in the seat he always sat on and I just broke down crying. I am forever grateful for both my stepsister and stepmom cause we all just had a group hug on her couch while I bawled my eyes out. It ended and we didn't open presents but just talked. We had brunch and it went well, though I was holding in tears for the whole thing. This was the first time I could see they actually do care for me and I care for them. They are my family. I didn't stay the night cause I couldn't do that, but I left around 11 at night. This was the first time I ever felt like a full family unit and not the bad kid who fought with my stepmom wasn't the nicest to my stepsister. I thank them so much for not holding a grudge when I went through my teen rebel phase. I hugged them both goodbye and went home. I feel like giving them a shot, and going to my dad's place helped me realize that these are the people who have always been there for me. I mean, they were the ones who didn't give up on me when I was a troubled teen, and I love them both for it. I text my stepsister almost daily now, even if it's just a good morning or I have the day off, and I call my stepmom a bit too now, but it goes a bit deeper and I've started to really trust her like a mom. Thank you all for the advice and to not cut them out cause it really did help me realize that we are a family. We have been since I was 8 and I love and care for both of them very much. You're the idiot. You were only thinking about yourself after your father died. You said it yourself. You didn't see him that much anymore and would mainly text. Your stepmother and sister saw him every day. You need to think about others for a change and do what's best for all. Not the idiot. Good for you. I'm glad you found some peace and love. You are a strong person for overcoming your baser instincts and coming to this realization. Most people just practice avoidance and live with baggage forever. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for not letting my sister stay with us after she glamorized the life of prostitution to my 14-year-old daughter? I want to start by saying that I fully support my sister's career choice and I am not interested in comments debating the morality of what she's doing. My sister is an escort. She came to visit us last weekend. She was planning on spending the summer with us since we haven't seen each other for 3 years. When she told us about this, my daughter was ecstatic. They have a great relationship and she helped me raise her after her mom died. When my parents first found out about my sister's job, they denounced her, told her that she was bringing shame to the family and that she was going to rot in hell. I tried convincing them to change their minds and that treating my sister that way isn't going to do anything good, but they told me that it was none of my business and that I should stop defending her. My sister became depressed because of that and she stopped working. When she couldn't afford rent, I brought her to my house. I told her that she is my baby sister and that I will always be by her side and take care of her no matter what. She started getting better week by week, and after a few months she got back to her former happy self. Back to the present day. Last Friday when I got back home from work, I overheard them talking in my daughter's bedroom. My daughter was asking her aunt about her job. She started telling her about how much fun it is and that she gets to visit many new places and meet new people, and how she gets to decide when she wants to work, which allows her to take breaks whenever she wants, so she gets to visit and spend all summer with us. My daughter told her that her job is so cool and how she's looking forward to spending time with her and all the fun activities they will get to do in the summer. Next morning I told my sister that I overheard them and that I didn't appreciate the way she explained her work, making it seem all fun with no downside. She told me that my daughter wasn't old enough to hear about the dangerous stuff. I told her that she doesn't get to decide that, and since she felt that my daughter was old enough to hear about her job, then she is definitely old enough to hear about the downsides. When my sister was living with us, I had to always be on alert. Many times she called me to get her out of uncomfortable and dangerous situations. I had to wake my neighbor in the middle of the night multiple times to watch my daughter while I went to get her. And to this day she still sends me her location whenever she is meeting someone so that I could alert the police in case she doesn't text me afterwards. I told her that she needs to leave by the end of the week if she doesn't want to explain the risks of her job in age-appropriate terms to my daughter. She told me I was cruel for doing this because I know how much they love each other and how much she was looking forward to spending time with us. Update. I spoke with my sister in the early morning while my daughter was still asleep. I explained to her how much it is important to me that she talks to my daughter about the risks of her job because she would actually listen to her aunt more than me, especially now when she reached the stage of dad isn't cool anymore and you are wrong to whatever I say to her, and reminded her how much I want us to spend the summer together. I told her that I am not young anymore and it's unlikely that I will be there for my daughter when she grows up the same way I was for her, so I need to know if I could count on her. I reminded that she isn't obligated to share details with her and just mention the bad side generally: unfamiliar locations, stranger men, increased risk of RP, bodily harm, STDs, drug use, etc. And then we can both answer any questions she might have together if she isn't comfortable answering them alone. She apologized, saying that she was selfish and admitted she should have thought about me and my daughter first instead of refusing because she thought my daughter isn't old enough to hear about the bad side, and promised she'll talk to my daughter about this over breakfast. I overheard the whole conversation, and I thought my daughter was very receptive to her aunt. My sister was reluctant at first, but after seeing her niece's engagement they ended up talking for over an hour, sharing her good and bad experiences and some funny stories. She even told her about how I stood up for her against our parents after their reaction and the many times I came to her rescue. I told my sister afterwards how much I appreciate what she did for me and her niece, and she assured me that she will always be there for me and she'll always take care of her niece like I did with her in the afternoon. While I was working in the garage, my daughter came to me and hugged me, saying that she loves me. I was fighting tears and I failed because it was the first time in over a year that she hugged me, and I think it was the first time since primary school that she said I love you to me. I still told her I love her every day, but she didn't say it back, and even though I understand it's normal for some teenagers, it was actually heartbreaking for me each time she didn't say it back. She watched me work for a few minutes and left without saying anything. I want to thank you all for your comments and advice. To the people who told me that I must insist on my sister talking to her and not accept her refusal, and also to the people who informed me about the risks of trafficking. And while I am glad that wasn't the case, I appreciate it because it made me take this much more seriously. And also to all the other valuable comments and tips. I am honestly just relieved after a long week of stress, and this made me realize again how lucky I am to have both of them in my life. Not the idiot. Glad it came out positive, but honestly, I have no clue what the aunt was thinking. 14 years old is such a vulnerable age, and to only sell the good and not the bad would have put her niece in a very dangerous situation. It would have left her completely vulnerable and easily impressioned into that type of work. Seriously, I'm livid for my dad. Aunt messed up big time. Not the idiot. My concern is whether or not your daughter is now interested in fricking for money. She wouldn't have much trouble being so young, as those dudes love the young ones. And she's got an auntie as a good role model, so I'm sure it's crossed her 14-year-old mind. Many people don't think ahead. I do, which is why my mind goes this route. Do you think ahead? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye for now.